A welcome to Two Beans in a Pod. Today we are diving into, well, one of the most intellectually stimulating scientific puzzles, I think, of the decade, the arrival of 3I Atlas. As the third confirmed interstellar object to pass through our solar system, its characteristics have immediately polarized experts.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this isn't just another discovery. It feels like a flashpoint for a really ancient question, doesn't it? Is 3I Atlas simply a rare natural interstellar comet, something flung out from a distant star system? Or does its highly anomalous behavior force us to consider the provocative possibility that it's, well, engineered? A potentially directed alien technological artifact?
And I'm going to argue that the evidence is overwhelmingly clear. 3I Atlas is a natural comet. It's observed physical activity. Even though its chemistry is exotic, it fits perfectly within established astrophysical models, making the technological hypothesis, frankly, an unnecessary leap in logic.
And I guess I come at it from a slightly different angle. While I absolutely recognize the evidence for natural processes, I believe the scientific community has to remain rigorously skeptical of the easy answers here. 3I Atlas exhibits multiple characteristics that seriously strain, if not outright defy, known natural cometary behavior. And these anomalies, taken together, demand we seriously consider the possibility of a technological origin.
Okay, let's start with the hard data then. When observations confirmed the object's trajectory was hyperbolic, meaning, its velocity is so high it's not gravitationally bound to our sun, that was immediate confirmation it originated outside our solar system. And it's traveling at truly impressive speeds, up to about 150,000 miles per hour. Critically, we know it is active. It possesses a coma, that fuzzy halo of gas and dust surrounding its icy core. As NASA experts have noted, quote, "It looks like a comet, it does comet things," end quote. So this object is merely passing through, staying roughly 170 million miles away from Earth at its closest point. It's a true and, importantly, harmless time capsule of exotic interstellar chemistry.
Okay, that's a compelling set of facts, I grant you, but they really only tell half the story, don't they? You focus on the presence of a comet, which is fair, but we have to look at the anomalies within that activity. Initial reports from high-power ground telescopes noted an unexpected and pretty intense glow observed in front of the object, not just trailing it like a normal comet tail. Now, this brightness profile simply cannot be fully explained by standard sunlight reflection or, uniform sublimation, the usual outgassing. Some reports have even theorized that this luminosity suggests a central, compact, high-power source, possibly generated internally, perhaps even nuclear, to create the intense brightness observed. And furthermore, just consider its path. It's expected to pass suspiciously close to Mars, then Venus, and Jupiter. The odds of an object entering our solar system from some random direction, being aligned this precisely with multiple major planetary orbits, well, that's been calculated at an improbable 1 in 500. That feels statistically non-random to me.
I see why you find the statistical alignment intriguing, but let me offer a different perspective on the activity itself. The very presence of a visible coma, coupled with high-resolution spectroscopic data, really validates its natural identity as an icy body undergoing sublimation. We've confirmed molecules like dicarbon and cyanide in the gas cloud. These are classic cometary signatures. But the most revealing data, I think, is its chemistry. The Gran Telescopio Canarios detected an unprecedented 8-to-1 ratio of carbon dioxide, CO2, to water vapor. This is, well, it's extraordinary. No comet in our system looks like this. This composition confirms 3I Atlas as a true messenger afar, holding secrets from the region beyond the water ice line of another star system. This means it formed in conditions radically different from anything we see in our solar system's history, providing invaluable data on, the diversity of planet formation elsewhere in the galaxy.
That's interesting regarding the chemistry, yeah, but the existence of a coma doesn't automatically rule out the technological hypothesis. I'm sorry, I I just don't buy that the complex chemistry somehow negates the potential for camouflage. I mean, technology could be hidden beneath layers of dust and gas, right? Or maybe even engineered to look like a comet specifically to avoid detection. More importantly, we have to return to that initial observation of the frontal glow. If it's merely a natural, icy body heating up, the light profile should be symmetrical or trailing. The fact that the natural models genuinely struggled, at least initially, to explain the unexpected luminosity and that glow pattern suggesting internal power, well, that's a red flag we can't just dismiss with a simple pivot to Folins or surface organics.
But we have to be careful not to cherry-pick initial, potentially erroneous observations over the subsequent, more robust data. While those initial frontal glow reports were, yes, intriguing, later high-resolution data from Hubble and other facilities showed a much more uniform light profile, one that's consistent with large-scale outgassing as it approaches the sun. It seems highly likely the initial observation might have been an instrument artifact, or perhaps simply localized heating as the object began to rotate, not evidence of internal nuclear power. And I'm still not convinced by the statistical premise either. Without an observed jet, or any non-gravitational acceleration beyond what natural outgassing effects can explain, the statistical rarity of its planetary alignment is just, well, it's insufficient to overturn the direct physical evidence of a comet.
See, I think that approach relies on a weak premise itself, that we must wait for some incontrovertible visual proof of propulsion, like seeing an engine flare. You're asking us to dismiss this statistically improbable path simply because we haven't seen a massive engine lighting up. That is precisely the wrong standard, I think, for a potential reconnaissance probe. The object's massive speed up to 150,000 miles per hour, combined with that 1 in 500 alignment, it suggests a non-random, possibly engineered path designed to maximize planetary proximity. We need to look for minute velocity deviations, a tiny trajectory shift that cannot be explained by natural forces, like a subtle, maybe millisecond-long acceleration near the sun. That would essentially prove it's a deliberately directed delivery system.
But the vast speeds are merely consistent with an object ejected from another star system's or cloud, potentially wandering the galaxy for billions of years. I mean, this object is believed to be older than our sun itself. That ejection gives it the speed.
Okay, but even small anomalous accelerations are exactly what we must watch for, especially during the observational blackout window we're facing. It's close past to Mars, just 17 million miles away, which is incredibly close astronomically speaking, coincides exactly with the solar conjunction. For listeners maybe unfamiliar, the solar conjunction is a weeks-long scientific blackout period where Mars is hidden behind the sun from Earth's perspective. It severely limits our ability to observe, to track, or even adjust our instruments properly. The timing just couldn't be worse, really. It puts the object behind the sun during our best observational window to spot any interaction or subtle maneuver. This critical complication, I think, increases the need for continued scrutiny of that delivery system hypothesis.
Hubble observations indicate the size of the nucleus is substantial, estimated somewhere between 1444 feet, so about a quarter mile, and maybe up to 3.5 miles in diameter. This giant size is consistent with natural comets and far larger than previous smaller interstellar objects like Oumuamua. This is not some fine-tuned, millimeter-thin solar sail. It's a giant, ancient icy body. It provides us with a staggering physical relic from another part of the galaxy. And hey, if you're as fascinated by the complex possibilities and intense scientific scrutiny surrounding objects like 3R Atlas as we are, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Joining our community ensures you catch the next deep dive analysis right here on Two Beans in a Pod.
That's a compelling argument regarding the size, I admit. But have you considered that a large object could actually be a robust structure designed to survive interstellar travel? Perhaps a loosely bound aggregate structure? Early, less refined estimates even suggested a size closer to that of, like, a small city, Manhattan Island even. Whether it's 1,400 feet or 3 miles wide, a large structure could be a generational habitat or maybe a densely packed probe array, engineered for resilience over billions of years. And the discovery of complex organics on the surface, well, that supports the idea of panspermia,
the transport of life's building blocks, which, while natural, certainly keeps the door open to the possibility that these blocks were delivered intentionally, or that the vessel itself contains biological cargo.
The beauty of this object, I think, whether it turns out to be natural or otherwise, is that it forces us to apply the most rigorous standards of science to a really profound question.
Yeah, we are indeed asking the right questions, which is always the crucial first step toward understanding our universe, isn't it?
So to summarize my position, the overwhelming data confirms that 3T Atlas exhibits all the defining characteristics of a comet, specifically outgassing and a coma, regardless of its highly unique carbon dioxide-dominant chemistry. It is almost certainly a natural interstellar visitor, providing extraordinary insight into the conditions of other star systems. Its journey profoundly deepens our understanding of the cosmic building blocks scattered across the galaxy.
And while the simplest explanation, I agree, remains a comet, the extraordinary combination of factors, extreme velocity, persistent reports of anomalous luminosity, and that statistically improbable trajectory alignment near our planets, especially during a critical observational blackout window, well, it means we must maintain intellectual curiosity. We have to continue rigorously searching for technosignatures, the possibility that this is something more significant than just a statistical anomaly that's still worth rigorous scientific exploration.
Absolutely. 3 Atlas is really setting the stage for future searches for both natural and artificial interlopers, testing the limits of both our tools and our skepticism in the process.
Thank you for listening to Two Beans in a Pod.
If you are interested in the book, please order it from the link below.